let's take a closer look at the claims of gravity.
You want to see something kind of cool? Watch this object fall. Let's watch it a little bit slower. As you can see, the object lands below where it started. And let's watch this in even slower so we can see why. Gravity only pulls straight down on objects. So as soon as that board starts to fall, the ball can only fall straight down, and therefore it lands below where it started. Physics, pretty fun.
So here, a channel called Physics is Fun Official claims gravity's existence by using this video. There's no disagreement upon what's objectively observable, testable, and repeatable. But the question here is this evidence that gravity exists? The comments section had some interesting things and interesting discourses, and I'd like to share them. I state, gravity is not a force, nor has it been proven to exist. We are seeing the massive objects move by dielectric acceleration to its relative density. Hence, these objects are not buoyant to the relative air around them, so they fall. Gravity does not exist. My upcoming book is about this. Find me on Substack and feel free to disprove my work. proxyearth.substack.com. Then I compliment the viewer to say, but I must say, this is a very cool video you put together, which I genuinely do think it's very cool for people to make videos like this and share them with the ability to create open forms of discourse and questioning. Physics is Fun Official responds, okay, thanks for that laugh. I needed a good laugh today. I respond to Physics is Fun to say, I used to laugh at it as well, until I continually ask questions about Newton's theory of gravity. For example, an anvil floats in liquid mercury. The question is, did gravity just change its mind?
I got a much bigger tub of mercury. Alright, so here's my 110-pound iron-working anvil. I think we got this for making horseshoes and stuff, back when we had horses. So, let's set it in here and see if it floats. Okay, it doesn't seem to want to stay upright. I'll just let it tip over. There it is. It's floating. Look at that. The iron anvil floats because mercury has a density nearly twice that of iron. In fact, due to the density ratios, the iron actually floats better than wood does in water.
Push it under.
Let's push it down. Oh, that's hard to push down. Oh, that's great. Here, let's try it again from the other side.
And the same phenomena can be observed in like an orange, where if you put an orange in water, it floats. But if you peel the skin off of the orange, gravity just changes its mind, though it's lighter in weight, and then it sinks. That's kind of a problem here.
I think it dulls the sound quite a bit. Here, let's pull it up out of here. Just set it on that. Okay. It definitely sounds a lot different.
So, I say, we can easily lift some liquid mercury, but we cannot lift an anvil unless we are incredibly strong. I believe it's because gravity does not exist. First, your channel is full of excellent experiments, and I'm genuinely very interested to hear your thoughts on what I'm saying here, though. Maybe I'll just make a video or two soon if we churn some ideas. Physics is Fun fails to respond anywhere further, but then a new user jumps in to say, his name is Chris Perk, and he says, you're questioning Isaac Newton, who, mind you, had to invent calculus to describe the things he was discovering because there was no prior way to do it, about something that when the answer is something a high school AP physics student should be able to answer. The reason why an anvil floats on liquid mercury is because the mercury has a density almost twice that of iron, which is the anvil. Actually, you could Google that or even YouTube experiments on it and have them explain why densities matter so much. Sorry, buddy, gravity exists. Now, before the final sentence of this comment, I don't really have much of a problem with this comment, but none of this proves that gravity exists. It's just a measure of 4 snarky words that measure gravity's insistence rather than its existence or substance to prove its existence is merely a theory put together by Newton. There's nothing wrong with having a theory, but I don't believe that it constitutes as evidence if there's no experiment between the hypothesis and the conclusion, or the laws of nature. Going on, I say back to Chris Perk, I agree with your statement about the anvil. However, I don't believe gravity is necessary in the equation whatsoever to explain the subjective test that an anvil floats in liquid mercury. I simply can't help but notice the lack of evidence for the existence of gravity as being anything more than a theory that is insisted upon to explain the sacrosanct model of the cosmos and the motion of planets. If you insist gravity exists, as you did in this comment, what would be one smoking pistol proof of the existence of gravity? Interested to hear your thoughts. Chris Perkins replies, I'd say the smoking gun would be the hundreds of experiments that prove the constant force of 9.8 meters a second, roughly, down towards the Earth. It's not just gravity on Earth that's been proven. Your mind is thinking too small. You're forgetting that the seasons you experience, the night and day you experience, are all due to the gravitational forces of the sun and Earth. This fucking video gives you some pretty solid proof for the existence of gravity, does it not? You need to hop on YouTube and watch professors do experiments and hop off Reddit reading bullshit. Now we've stooped to ad hominem and an appeal to authority all in one mind-blowing paragraph there. So I ask, is it somehow not okay to question Isaac Newton? The idea that gravity is pulling things in seems like an inverse perspective, is what I'm saying. Though you're for some strange reason stooping down to playground, bullyish name-calling, I'm going to briefly reply anyways, for sake of anyone who is reading from outside this conversation. Force is a dissipation of energy, a release. Gravity is not a force. In fact, it's the opposite. The phenomena of a ball dropping, such as what we are seeing in this video, does indeed exist, as we can all observe, but what is that phenomena? To just say gravity, as if anyone who claims gravity's existence can agree upon a definition for it, and then shut the book about it all, is insufficient. Science is about questioning things and removing what's false to allow true things to remain.
Now I'm going to discuss how we would look for a new law. In general, we look for a new law by the following process. First, we guess it. Then we don't laugh, that's really true. Then we compute the consequences of the guess to see what, if this is right, if this law that we guessed is right, we see what it would imply. And then we compare those computation results to nature. Or we say compare to experiment or experience. Compare it directly with observation to see if it works. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. And that simple statement is the key to science. It doesn't make a difference how beautiful your guess is. It doesn't make a difference how smart you are who made the guess or what his name is. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. That's all there is to it.
I'm simply stating that I don't believe what we are seeing is caused by the force of gravity. It has no substance, but feels more like a sales chop. I don't believe gravity is a force, nor is the thing pulling things down. Emphasis on the difference on what things are versus what things do. For example, acceleration is not a thing, it is what something does. And the same thing could be applied to, let's say, a wave. It's not going to be easy for me to be in some comments section to explain ether torsion. So I think it's a fair area for me to conclude my hypothesis or questioning of Newton's theory of gravity. Bonus round. What is your favorite picture of the Earth from space? Chris Perk says, I love how you say everything as a matter of fact, Gravity is not a force. Yeah, alright, I'll just listen to you. You're definitely the expert with all the qualifications. You've read everything you could from the internet, so I'll just take your word for it. By the way, stop being soft as fuck and let people at you and DM you. I respond to Chris Perks saying, people cannot at me because I've been continually censored and shadow banned on social media for stating that viruses, atomic weapons, and gravity do not exist. The question is, if I'm so wrong to question the existence of these things, then why would a majority of technocrat channels feel the need to censor my viewpoint? Hope this helps you. And then I state, Chris Perk, I am simply speaking my mind and expressing my views. He goes to respond, you know, seeing your profile and your scary rape face, it makes sense why you spend so much time on the internet. The single life can do a toll on the brain, I guess. Do us all a favor and delete your Instagram and go live life a little bit. So, with that being said, my profile is public, so people can see everything I post. I have nothing to hide. But the guy who's accusing me of hiding things has a private account with a profile picture of a gun, which is, I think that's cool. And congratulations on him for being so enthusiastic about physics and saying that I have a scary rape face. But best of luck to anybody in here. Yeah.
You want to see something kind of cool? Watch this object fall. Let's watch it a little bit slower. As you can see, the object lands below where it started. And let's watch this in even slower so we can see why. Gravity only pulls straight down on objects. So as soon as that board starts to fall, the ball can only fall straight down, and therefore it lands below where it started. Physics is pretty fun.
If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong.
But it is a sickly thing to them.
Otacon, we have a problem.
Two philosophies of life will be in complete opposition. One movement will need to reflect how concepts and ideas may be developed to meet the reality of soul and spirit. The others, the hares of modern materialism, will look for the vaccine to make the body, quote, healthy. That is, make its constitution such that this body no longer talks with such rubbish as soul and spirit.
99, proceeded, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Right away, Houston. Vector good. X5.
But talks a, quote, sound view of the forces which live in engines and in chemistry, and let planets and suns arise from nebulae in the cosmos. Materialistic physicians will be asked to drive the souls out of humanity.
My neighbours used to write down chess moves and concepts of the con on the back pages of books based on subjects like the mathematics of quantum mechanics.
Wake up, Mr. Green.
We were all going to go together. They swore to me. You're coming with us, Jake.